everybody. I've been working on this here Arduino home automation system, and what's different about the one that I'm working on is I use inputs and outputs to control each individual light along with a website. So these LEDs are going to mimic my lights in the house, which I'll have hooked to relays, eventually. Still in the testing phase, obviously. But anyway, so I can go on here and let's say turn light 2 on. And then I go over here and it's got a slight delay, but it turns on. It's also doing a bunch of other stuff, so that's okay. Now another thing I can do is I'm going to treat this as if it's a push button. So if I act like I push the button and then I wait, the LED will turn on. There it is. See? Now I unpush the button, so to speak, and well, I left it pushed too long. Alright, so let's try this again. So as soon as it comes on, I gotta let off the button. Alright, so it came on, I let off the button. Now that should stay on. Also, if I go to the website and refresh the page, I now have light 2 and light 5 on. So LED 2 and LED 5 are still on. And then I can also try to turn on or push button for another light. So I plug that in, LED comes on, unpush the button. So it's a little dimmer because I've used the wrong resistors, but it still works for the testing phase. So now if I refresh the website, I should have light 14 on right there. So if I want to turn, let's say, light 5 off, I turn that off, and I come over here, and oh, it's already off. That was quick. And then I'll turn light 2 off, and light 14, turn it back off. Okay, so let's say I turn the light 14 on with the computer. Okay, so now I do my makeshift push button and it should turn off. Okay, so now if I refresh the website, of course, I'll set up the website to where it automatically refreshes every so often or something. I don't know, I'll figure that out. But anyway, refresh the website and it shows that it's off. I've also designed this controller to do temperatures, so I can have 3 different temperatures. And eventually I'm going to design the website where I can name each one of these. Now I can turn all the LEDs on, or all the lights on, with one push. However, for some reason, if light 1 is on, 1 through 8 does not turn on at all. But if I turn light 1 off, the rest work fine. So I haven't figured out what the issue is there. It might be in the chip, who knows. But it's coming around. I know the lighting sucks, but I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. Let's see, what else? Oh, I also set it up to where this last channel here would mimic my garage door. So if I push, well, let's turn all the lights off so that you can see that LED. So all lights off. Pretty cool. So now if I hit closed door, which it thinks it's open, because I forget which one it is. I want to say if I jump, I think this is channel 16. If I jump that, I believe that will show my garage door closed. Nope, that's the wrong one. It lit up an LED. I always forget which one it is. Might be this one. I think it is that one. There's nothing lit up. But I should be able to go on here. Ah, yes. See, now it says garage door is closed. And I can hit open door. So let's say I click open door. Click it. Now this last LED should come on for 1 second and then turn off. So that mimics me pushing the button for the garage door, which I'll use this mechanical relay to actually push the button on the garage door. So I can sense whether the garage door is open or closed, and also be able to open or close the garage door from anywhere, basically. What else? So we got temperatures, we got garage door control, we got lights, and eventually, once I get it all installed in the house, I'll be able to just go over to the light switch, which I'm going to replace the light switch with a button because I couldn't get the software or the programming correct for a light switch. Because if I leave the light switch on, so let's say I turn the light switch on, which would be the same as plugging this in. Alright, so that LED is going to turn on. Which one is it? So that one will turn on, and as it goes through the loop, it's going to be like, hey, we need to turn this back off. So it's just going to basically on, off, on, off, on, off every time it goes through the loop, which is quite annoying. And I could not figure out a better way to do that. So this will work. So, I don't know. Push button, and I ordered some that have their LED illuminated. I believe I got blue, so that way it'll look kind of cool. So it'll be a pretty neat little setup once it's done. And the nice thing about using these chips, which are the, let's see here, the 74HC595 chips, basically shift registers, is I can do more than just 16. I can keep daisy chaining them. And then I also got these other ones, which are CD let's see, there we go, CD4021B shift registers. So those do shift in, and then the 74HC595 does shift out. So that way I can use these for detecting inputs, which will detect if I get a 5 volt 5 volts of power to that part of the chip or whatever, to that channel or whatever you want to call it. So, you know, for example, I plug this in to a 5 volt power, and then that sends a signal saying, hey, let's turn this light on. Maybe. There it is. Now, I was able to duplicate my breadboard setup in this programming program called Fritzing, and it allows me to be able to do the breadboard. It looks a little neater, I guess. So the idea is, you know, each one of these will have an input in and output, so it'll get information from the switch and put information out to the relay. As you can see here, here's the shift in, and then those are the shift out registers. And I got the PCB designed with this software. However, it's a little more expensive than I'd like it to be. So I plan to redesign it, or design it again in a different software that I'm going to have to learn. But that'll happen in time. So the idea here is to have RJ45 connectors, as you can see 16 of them here. So each one will go to a light switch. And then the plan is to have an Ethernet cable run to each light switch. So I would pull this off and then take the light switch out and put a button into place, and then have that RJ or the Cat5 cable connected to the relay, and then the relay connected to where the light switch would have been, so the relay would do the job of the light switch, and then the button would actually send a signal back to the Arduino board, and therefore turning the lights on and off. So that way it can be web controlled and or manually controlled at the light switch. So more to come, but just kind of a heads up of what we got going on here. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, and all that good stuff, and there's a lot more coming.